we made it.
Hi, welcome to the Outdoor Laboratory Podcast. I'm your host, Danny Capo, and in today's episode, we're going to be visiting Arches National Park. This park is found in southeastern Utah and has more than 2,000 natural sandstone arches. In the 1920s, President Hoover signed Presidential Proclamation number 1875, which created Arches to become a national monument. In 1971, Arches National Monument was turned into a national park by President Nixon. The whole park lies on top of a salt bed, and thanks to flooding and wind erosion, there are domes and faults that can be found all throughout the park. You can even find petrified sand dunes in the park, which point to there being a Great Lake here once. A famous arch in the park is called Delicate Arch, which is about a 3-mile hike. This hike is a great hike for those looking for a challenge. The payoff of the view is amazing, and the arch is beautiful, and so is the hike surroundings. There were a lot of people when I visited, but it was a great hike either way. The largest arch in the park is called Landscape Arch, which is over 290 feet in length. There are also a set of arches you can visit that are clustered together, making it easy to see multiple of them at one time. This group of arches can be found at the Window Arch Trail. These arches are usually popular as the hikes to get to them are not as intense. This hike is great for day visits at the park, and the views are beautiful as well. A great place to visit in the park that will transport you through time is the site at Wolf Ranch. This site was settled by John Wolf and his oldest son in 1888. John Wolf had to move west because of a medical condition that required him to live in a more arid climate. Wolf established this 100-acre ranch to raise cattle, and this cabin was nothing but bare essentials and provided protection from wind, rain, and heat. Wolf had the rest of his family join him, but in 1908, his wife could no longer take the living conditions and moved to the close city of Moab. Wolf later joined her in Moab. Wolf died on October 22, 1913, at the age of 84. In 1975, the Wolf Ranch District was listed on the National Registry of Historic Places in America. So, arches are a pretty cool geologic formation, and I thought it'd be cool to share with you guys how an arch is actually formed. The Arches National Park, like I said before, lies under a salt bed, or on top of a salt bed from the ocean. When the water evaporated, salt was deposited, and winds, floods, streams, and oceans came and went. This brought debris, which was compressed into the rock layer. The layers of debris caused the salt bed to become fluid, which created these domes and ridges. Eventually, these domes would fill with water and freeze. Wind and water would continue to erode these sites until they are the arches that you see today. So an arch is formed from basic erosion and freezing over time. And these arches are very beautiful to view and very beautiful to see, and it's a great way to see nature and how quirky and weird it can be at times. While I visited the park, it was quite full, which exposed me to a big problem that we face in our national parks today. We have a lot of overflow. There aren't enough parking spaces for people to park. This is something to consider when planning your trip to Arches. Try to plan your trip in the cooler months when there are less people. The time when Arches is the least packed is in the wintertime, so perhaps planning your trip during this less popular time is a great way to make your trip more enjoyable. Arches National Park is a great place to visit and a great place to see the amazing geologic formations that can be found in nature. I recommend it as a next stop on your adventures. I hope that one day you can come out and experience it for yourself. Have a great day.